There is only one plane in current top tier that can compete in any game mode you put it into. Only one that can put others to shame with its flight characteristics and great speed, and only one that can survive at high altitude due to its great missiles and massive amount of countermeasures. That, of course, is the Gripen. The Gripen is Sweden's answer to the people who asked what it would be like to bring back dogfighting to top tier, and is an illegitimate love child of the F-18 Hornet and the Viggen, only taking the best aspects from each parent. It currently comes in 3 different forms of mental illness: IKEA meatballs, South African TIE fire, and still depressed about World War I. The first and most used of them is the Swedish Gripen A, which is technically the worst of the 3 as it gets the least amount of flares and the worst loadout for ground pounding. But it also has been massively buffed by Gaijin with the HMD system because angry Swedoids didn't want the UK to have a better version of their own plane before they did. The second version is the South African Gripen C, which Gaijin put in so other Sweden mains could cry themselves to sleep at night. In real life, this gets the MBDA Meteor missile and the Iris-T, which are currently unavailable since they would both chew up all of top tier. Compared to the other 2 Gripens that are currently in the game, this one also has the highest amount of flares at 92 without pods. The final and probably least used version of the Gripen is the Hungarian EBS HU AB or whatever. It has the best loadout for ground RB with its new AGM-65Gs and Hs, but at the same time, why would you put yourself up to the suffering of top tier Italy, which is easily the worst in the game? The most defining feature about the Gripen is that it's as manoeuvrable as a paper aeroplane, and even makes the F-16 look like a brick in comparison while it falls out of the sky mid-dogfight. Its weapon loadout is also nothing to forget, as Gaijin decided to be nice to the Gripen and give it AIM-9Ms which it never had in real life, as a stopgap to the curb-stomping missiles which are the Iris-T and the Python 5. Although one downside to the armament of the Gripen is that it has a marshmallow cannon called the Mauser BK-27, it does absolutely no damage to any planes with the default belts. Overall, all 3 of the Gripens play pretty much the same in air battles, where you can play in 2 different ways. Either stay at treetop level and be invisible to radar missiles just like every other plane at top tier, or you can climb at the beginning of the match and dodge missiles with your massive amount of countermeasures while shooting missiles at people from space. The second tactic has become more of an ease recently due to War Thunder partnering with Autism Speaks with the introduction of the F-20 Tiger Shark, and along with its pilots. They love AIM-9Ms. Orbital striking is made much more effective with this change, as autistic children get sidetracked worse than a derailed train. But on the other hand, you do still need to be careful with this tactic, as if you don't notch and chaff perfectly, then God's weakest R27ER will be quick to find your local IP address and take you off the face of the planet. Also, a special feature that I seem to have found is that the Gripen has a high tendency to just eat missiles and fly away with minimal damage. I've done it multiple times now, and it's just ridiculous every time that it happens. As for the best loadout to use, both tactics are best equipped with 5 9Ms and 1 Skyflash, because even if you want to hold more radar missiles for BVR, Saab doesn't know how to make modular parts, so the flare pods are only available with AIM-9s. Although for sim battles it's recommended you take 6 9Ms and a central fuel tank, as it allows you to carry all 640 extra countermeasures, as well as the fact that most Russian mains lack object permanence and will forget that you fired a missile at them due to the lack of smoke. By following these simple steps, you'll find that this is the proper way to fly the top tier triangle. Now go out there and show how Saab's car profits helped them make the second best fighter in Europe.